Boom. All right, boom. Huh. Boom. Yeah, wake your ass up. All right. So, I got a two for today. You know what I'm saying? Throw a two out. Got a double upload today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up. Clap it up. All right, boom. All right, I'm gonna get right into it because this one gonna be a long John. This the after hour special. So I mean, it's gonna be a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to just be a better speaker. So, you know, I gotta practice speaking more out loud. Like speaking out loud. Cause speaking in silence, I am literally, physically, personally the best at it that I know. Speaking in silence, like, I mean, when I consort with my highest self, you know what I mean? Those conversations go crazy. So that's why I'm trying to bring it forth to speak out loud with, you know, the created collective because, you know, it's needed. And I'm casting right now. So it'll help with manifestation as long as I continue to say things that are according to our purpose. You know what I'm saying? It'll make our point. But that being said, again, this is about to be a long one because we about to watch that Katt Williams interview. That drawn like 2 hours. But it's going viral. So we just gonna watch it, you know what I'm saying? Then hopefully later we have some things to clip up, you know what I'm saying? Chop up. Make some shorts out of it, you know what I'm saying? You see where we going, being productive with our time, because at the same time, it's like, I don't really watch TV no more. I only watch YouTube, for real, for the most part. I be discovering TikToks on YouTube, so it's really still YouTube for me. I don't really watch nothing else. Like, I consume no other form of content that I don't make or create or on any other platforms, you know what I'm saying? I just stick to the one, you know what I mean? I can't serve two, you feel me? All right, but yeah, so me being on YouTube, I might as well film while I watch stuff, because that you mean double-edged sword. I'm getting content while I'm watching content, and therefore it's turning into my content. Therefore, I'm not just being a consumer, I'm also being a producer. Get at me, bro. It's like, no, y'all be great. Enjoy. Hopefully you got some food, you know what I mean? Your Smithy, whatever you want to get into.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online.
Don't
spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweet.
I could have went live, but I ain't
Guy
there
that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna love him. Some call him one of the greatest comedians, dead or alive. One of America's greatest entertainers, one of the funniest men on the planet, world-renowned, multi-talented, a comedy legend. He's the top touring comedian selling out arenas. He's a hilarious storyteller, Emmy award-winning actor, voice actor, rapper, writer, producer, director, icon, genius, a national treasure, philanthropist, humanitarian, social activist, a father, one of the great funny men of our generation and any generation, Mr. Katt Williams.
Thank you, sir.
How was that
magnificent. You are magnificent at intros, and you did not skimp on mine. I appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Very nice.
You know, anytime you come to Club Shay, we have to toast.
Yes.
Bro, you've been doing it. I mean, you're one of the top one of the top touring comedians of all time. You are.
Y'all can't see nothing. Hold on, I got you.
And unbelievably.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharp. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay, the guy that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna love it.
I'm not editing. I don't edit videos, so I'm not gonna go get it because I don't feel like cutting that
one of the greatest comedians, dead or alive. One of America's greatest entertainers, one of the funniest men on the planet, world-renowned, multi-talented, a comedy legend. He's the top touring comedian selling out arenas. He's a hilarious storyteller, Emmy award-winning actor, voice actor, rapper, writer, producer, director, icon, genius, a national treasure, philanthropist, humanitarian, social activist, a father, one of the great funny men of our generation and any generation, Mr. Katt Williams.
Thank you, sir.
How was that
magnificent. You are magnificent at intros, and you did not skimp on mine. I appreciate it.
Appreciate that. You know, anytime you come to Club Shay, we have to toast.
Yes.
Bro, you've been doing it. I mean, you're one of the top one of the top touring comedians of all time. You already got started before we started taping.
I did.
Appreciate that. Tell the people at home.
I thought they was lying, and yeah, this particular alcohol is stronger than you think it would be, probably by about 2, and unbelievably smoother and milder by the same maybe 30% than you could possibly expect. And unlike cognacs the world over, this one doesn't taste like wood at the end, and it doesn't taste like it's got artificial colors, and it doesn't taste like it's got artificial flavors. It's a fine product.
He's a connoisseur. You can tell he's a cognac connoisseur. He understands the method that goes into making cognac.
Right. Well, as a comedian, you get free drinks at the club. So all comedians either turn out to be connoisseurs like myself, or straight up and down alcoholics like 60% of Hollywood.
Well, thanks for stopping by the club. I understand that you're very, very busy, and for you to take time out of your busy schedule and stop in today, we really, really appreciate it here at Club Shay. So thanks for stopping by, Katt.
And I needed you to know why I came by.
Yeah, I need you to tell us why.
People know I don't go everywhere. I'm not interested in talking to people unless it's like a Larry King or somebody of an amazing ilk that I would actually want to go talk to in real life.
Okay.
I don't do it so I can sell product, and I got things to sell, so let me come talk. You have a great product here, and as a fan base, we love the attention that you spend on the guest. We love how much work you've done, how well you know them, how prepared you are. The same things that we liked about you in football. You brought that on over to here, and that's why it resonates. And the reason I had to come is because you've made a safe place for the truth to be told. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about.
Time out. Only because I want to make this stated. Hey yo, I forgot to shout you out. Hey yo, tap that finger, touch it. Okay, boom. All right, you mean that's how we greet each other. All right, you hit that. Boom. All right, boom. That's for you. Shout out to you. I see you, spirit. Shout out to all the spirits. I see you. I'm saying, I'm talking about the spirits. I'm talking about you. You feel me? Gain your soul. But all right, that was a sidetrack. Back on point. This is all a distraction. Even this right now is a distraction. You could be doing something very, very, very productive. You know what I'm saying? If you got something better to do, go do that. If not, you know what I'm saying? If you want to gain some perspective and outlook on, just to help you later on your purpose, you could stay here, you know what I'm saying? We could kick it or whatever. But for real, even this interview that I'm watching is a distraction from something greater that's going on in life. Hopefully, if you know, you know. If you don't, hopefully you will gain some understanding. But if not, for the most part, it's not for everybody to know everything. And the few is the few for a reason, because it's only a few of us. And that being said, I just want to acknowledge that this is a distraction. Like, this is a great interview, and maybe a week ago, it was only another interview that I saw that was a great one. It was a Charleston White interview with Cam Newton. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name for a second. But yeah, so in like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we got like 2 great interviews of people exposing things. Now, Charleston was talking about some way deeper social society things. And it's like, it should be heard. I might even watch it later on here. We'll see how well it's still trending. If it's still trending, you know what I mean? Hey, look, let's catch it straight. But in this one, Katt is exposing Hollywood. So it's like it's a whole bunch of stuff being exposed in these times, and I'm here for it. I love it because
things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here and lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth.
I love it.
You stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike. And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now three quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
These CEOs started with nothing. But they didn't just climb the ladder.
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was...
Sir, no one... Why no... He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he... What? So Ricky Smiley knows this. And I don't know why he would lose a child and come on the air and start lying. That's why people believe in rituals right there. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie. But I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was gonna play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm gonna be funnier than you. What he told everybody was, Katt Williams, don't nobody know who he is. I'm on the radio. I'm with Steven Said. Everybody know me. That's what he told everybody that would listen to on the set. That's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, not now, then. He was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress.
That's
now,
deep
what was
as hell.
Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress?
Hey, cuz.
You bet he did. It's in my contract.
That's diabolical.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life.
Oh my gosh. That's
they play good women. And I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
So that's why, because when we released that clip and he said that, you responded because he said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie. So that he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, Oba-Kaby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams.
1 second.
Consider that New Year's
why do I do that sometimes?
Resolutions are not the answer for you this year. You need real solutions.
I gotta turn off the hotkeys because I don't know why every time I hit the button to switch cameras, it changed where I was at. I didn't look at the time.
Expected only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been.
Spoiler alert, emotional support animals are 100% real, legal, and here.
So let me ask you this. What is your relationship with Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and Cedric the Entertainer as you sit here currently?
For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't three random guys. The way that Ricky Smiley kept appearing at all of my auditions is because of Steven Said. He would tell anybody that, listen, they got a gang on that side. They know what it is. They know who the gang is. Why Earthquake not in movies? 'Cause he's illiterate. He can't read. And they found that out when they gave him a show and put the cards in front of him. Like, all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets, and this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? If you're a Denver Bronco, why you don't get along with the Cowboys? Something wrong with you?
But I don't disagree. I don't dislike all the Cowboys. Katt, damn, you like this?
No, that's not.
Okay, what comedians do you like?
Did you play against the team?
Yes.
I've taken 46 comedians with me on the road. 46.
Okay.
I'm not the comedian you can give that to. I only put on comedians that are funnier than me. Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just caught a stray.
Faison said that
this nigga coming
getting
at
a Netflix
everybody.
special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0.
So
why is he allowed to have conversations about real
Steve
stand-up people?
Ricky
we do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side.
Michael. Fuck Michael.
And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching...
Big dick deviant.
Hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. T.G. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Shit. I kind of get one here.
Right.
What?
After that, I don't really kind of know where to go. Let me, one more time.
Right.
We good now?
Because the people want to know, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets.
Is information
so if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You will tell it?
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script. How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike, because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told him to go get the Prowler. I then told him to paint it purple. I told him don't have an actor playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work for somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement.
Why didn't Cube set the record straight? Terry Crews could have set the record straight. Mike Epps could have set the record straight. Why none of them set the record straight?
That's what you were supposed to ask him when he told you those lies that no one's ever heard. Right, but he's telling you something no one's ever heard of. Nobody has ever heard, oh, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon was in a movie, and somebody said, y'all should switch roles. Like, this is a business.
But that's the thing, Katt. Normally, when people are giving you information, I'm thinking I'm hearing it for the first time, and they're giving information no one else knows or has ever heard. So I'm taking them at face value.
These are like, this is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Oprah GX. Now I hear you asking, Troy, what makes this browser so different from the others? This browser is...
He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Justice Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Because Shannon Sharp got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built. So all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I?
What? Whoa. Yo, this nigga is
I'm supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there?
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no.
I don't know.
The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I'm not taking the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no.
What?
Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you gotta be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not gonna have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym, but you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay. Let's get to your upbringing. We're gonna circle back and we'll get some,
I want to protect him real quick, because you had said for the Kings of Comedy, it was in 2018, 2019, but did you mean 1999? Because it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
No, I didn't. No. So what I meant to say was, remember, he said I couldn't do stand-up anymore. I had 7 TV shows. I said he didn't have any of those TV shows at the time.
I know you talking about Cedric.
Joke stealing from Cedric.
Cedric.
Okay,
so you had said that 2018, 2019, but it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, no. What comes out in 2000?
The original Kings of Comedy.
Right. I'm on BET's Comic View, and they're using this as the commercial in 1998. Okay. That's why I'm saying, yeah. So if I said the dates wrong,
let's go back and clear that up.
Okay.
You said, I had Cedric on here, and I asked him about the joke stealing, and he said the timeline doesn't add up.
Correct.
To that point, you say.
Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab and help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already
2803.
into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times, and Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon. I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all a group. Cedric, Steve, Ricky, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem. But we don't let that change the content, because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Can you believe we're this deep into the NFL season? We got to make every second count. With DraftKings Sportsbook, you can make the most out of every game day. Bet on your favorite teams for a shot at winning big bucks. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting $5 on any matchup. Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app now. Use code Shannon. New customers can score $150 instantly in Can you believe we're this deep into the NFL season? We got to make every second count. With DraftKings Sportsbook,
that's
you
crazy
can make
that he
the most
started this other video with that thing that I was trying to
Guy
cut
that's
off.
stopping by for conversation and a drink today. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to love him. Some call him the greatest.
Gosh.
50 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on the NFL. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Shannon. The crown is yours. Let's get to your upbringing. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, raised in Dayton, Ohio. What was Katt Williams' upbringing like? Your parents were Jehovah's Witness. You were a prodigy. You were brilliant. You talked to me that you got accepted to college at 7 years of age. You could read fluently at 3 years of age. So having that kind of knowledge, having that kind of prodigy.
Accepted to college in 7 is.
So what was? So I mean, with it, what was your upbringing? How was it? How was life as Katt Williams coming up?
Stop it. Stop it. No.
I was often confused because I knew things and I wasn't sure how I knew them.
I feel that.
I knew things that I felt like I don't have a reason that I know this, but I love to read. I was voracious because they told me when I was young that knowledge was powerful. That knowledge was power, and I had studied powerful people, and I really believed that. I immediately. My next project was to read the whole encyclopedia set. So when you're like 6, 7 years old, you read the whole encyclopedia set, you think you're one of the smartest people in the world, only to get out in the world and find out you don't know anything, you know? So it was a confusing time, but yeah, I had a childhood. I was grown, but at 5 years old, I was in front of 5,000, 10,000 people giving a performance with a full suit and tie on, you know what I mean? So it came full circle for my life. I knew that the applause and the giving of information and laughs and truth to people somehow benefited them and also benefited you. And yeah, so when they would ask me what I wanted to be, everything that I would say that I wanted to be was something that didn't exist. And they would never give me credit for it because I needed to say a doctor or a lawyer, but that's not what I wanted to be.
So your parents weren't as supportive as you would have hoped because you were wanting to be things when you got older that they had no knowledge of, or it didn't exist at the time?
No, it wasn't that. It was, I'm saying I'm almost 100 years old right now, but if we go outside right now, I can run a 4.34.
Hey, yo, you good? You good? You thirsty? Want something to drink? You want to go get something to drink real quick? You hungry? Want to go get something to eat? Go ahead, go do that real quick. You got like a little, you mean a little bit of time? Yeah. All right, so you just, matter of fact, you just pause it, come back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and start the video, and then. You know what I'm saying? So you pause it, you go get your stuff, you know what I mean? And you come back. And then when you come back, then you unpause because we gonna go ahead and continue. You know what I'm saying? That way we moving at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We doing quantum physics here. Don't worry about it, how we doing, but just know that that's what we doing, because I'm about to start, and then you gonna start later, but somehow we gonna be on the same time. Watch. Just watch. So pause, go get your stuff, and then hit start. Watch.
40 or sub. I can do a 416 if I'm
Oh, there's Jimmy John's across the street. We can order a sub.
But
oh, you been on the submarine? That what you sub?
So back then it was even greater. So you got this guy that all the coaches want to play.
Man, Katt, don't do that.
Hold on, because I'm 5'5" in the 5th grade. I've been this size my whole life. Like, there was a portion of school where I was one of the big dudes. Like, as soon as everybody caught their growth spurt, I was out of there. But I'm saying I was a competitive individual. My father was an athlete.
I can see that.
Like, no, I've been 145 pounds my whole career. That's why I never bothered when they said, your Katt's on drugs. I knew, how you gonna prove that? My body is a temple.
I've been the same size since I was 10.
Like, what do you? Yeah, like I haven't changed off this pivot foot. This has always been who I was before stand up or anything. But it was an interesting childhood. I appreciate my parents, even though I couldn't live within the religious frameworks of what they had set up. But that was more not wanting to live a double life and not want to embarrass my family. You know what I mean?
Because I read where a form of punishment for you is that they would take books, because you mentioned you were such a voracious reader. And a form of punishment was when they would take the books for them, because you could read fluently. You told me how at like 3 or 4 years old you could read, not just a little child's book, but you could read.
Well, I'm saying when we go to Haiti to do missionary work, understand that my mother and my father, nobody that's there with us speaks French. And, it speaks Creole and reads French. So I'm in charge of everything, from the housing to the cars to the gardener. Like, I'm saying, so I'm not just reading, I'm reading in multiple languages. Like,
How old are you at the time?
I'm probably reading 3,000 books a year. From the time that I'm 8 years old to the time that I'm 12.
3,000 books?
No fiction books at all.
A year.
I'm only reading nonfiction.
Stop it.
You could drive.
Nigga, that's 10 books a day. That's 65 days off if you're doing the math with me, but... So he got some room to not do 10 a day, because he got 65 days to, like, make up those 10. If he do 7 or 8, but you gotta pretty consistently do over 5 books a day to read 3,000 books in a year, bro. Like, what? So then it's like he said, it's not knowing them kid books. How big are them books that you read in 5 a day, nigga? It's 24 hours in a day. You laying down for 8 of those hours, which that takes out a third. So now you only got 2/3 of that. So you got 16 hours. You got 16 hours. You got 16 hours. 4 of those I'm just putting off for recreation, just mental shit. So you got 12 hours. You spending all 12 of your hours just reading? No. Let's take off 2 hours just for miscellaneous. So we got 6 hours. 4 for mental, just gymnastics, entertainment, recreational things. 2 for, just straight chilling. So you got 6 hours of just, you time. You got 8 hours in the bed. So that's 14 hours. So now we got 10 hours of reading. But you gotta read over 5 books. That's like reading a book an hour, bro. I don't think he was reading a book an hour. I'm sorry, I'm dragging this, but you just gotta leverage the truth and whatnot. Cause it's like if somebody telling the truth about one thing, then lying about another, it's like, are they lying about? That's a crazy number, bro. Is it true? I don't know. Is it not true? I don't know. Could it be true? It could. Could it not be true? Yeah, but I don't know. So that's just impressive. It is. If it's not hell of an exaggeration.
At 12, you received a full scholarship to the National Science Academy in Dayton, Ohio, but you failed, so you would become ineligible. Why didn't you want to take that opportunity?
I didn't see it as an opportunity. When I got in there, all the students were wearing lab coats, and it seemed very confined and restricted, and nobody seemed like they were having fun. It just seemed like everybody was smart. I didn't want that. That wasn't what I was signing up for at all. And plus, I thought that Jesus was my big homie. So you know how you get a story about a dude joined the gang and you get a big homie, right? Mm-hmm. Like at this particular point in my life, my thought is that the Bible is the greatest book that's ever been written.
Okay.
Yep.
That it houses the truth. Yep. And that it gives you this story of Jesus, and that I'm supposed to be like him.
Yep.
So it's already in my head that as soon as I get 13, I'm leaving.
Yep.
You at 13, you not only like, okay, Mom, I'm moving out. You moved from Ohio to Florida on your own. You weren't afraid. I mean, you like, did you?
Hold on.
Did you not have it? So what were you going to do when you got to Florida?
Don't say I wasn't afraid. There's no such thing as a human being of not being afraid.
Okay.
There are certain human beings that understand that being afraid in no way stops you from doing what you got to do.
Okay.
So I was afraid, but I couldn't be that afraid because I knew what had happened with Jesus. I knew how it worked out. I knew that I wasn't in the wrong with how I was feeling, and I knew that I didn't have any bad intentions in it.
Right.
So I trusted God that it would work out.
Why Florida?
Because if you're raised in Ohio, the one thing on your list is, I'm gonna get away from snow, and I'm gonna get as far. I want to go. Tell me the place. I literally went to a truck stop and I asked all the truck drivers where they was going, and there was one guy going to California and there was one guy going to Florida, and they told me how long it was gonna take, and so that's why I ended up in Miami, because.
How'd you get there? You caught a bus?
No, I just told you. I was at the truck stop.
So you hitchhiked?
I didn't hitchhike. I got in the back of the dude's 18-wheeler, me and my Rottweiler puppy and my suitcase. Yeah, because I probably had $2,500 on me, like I was shoveling snow and cutting grass. Like I always had pockets full of money.
When did you make the decision that you were gonna leave Ohio and go somewhere? And it ended up being Florida. So, but when did you know that you were leaving Dayton, Ohio, going to Florida?
In my father and I's last interaction, somebody could have not made it. Mm-hmm. And we both understood. Mm. That was all bad.
Mm. What was the disagreement about?
If you say that my family is very religious, just say I'm not. So anything that I'm going to do is going to fall out of the guidelines.
Right.
But I'm not going to let you tell me what I'm going to be, especially if what you're saying is wrong. I can't condone wrong. And if I find out that something is wrong and I tell you it's wrong and you don't back me, that's what it is.
Even as a young child, you were willing to tell your parents that some of the things that you're saying doesn't coincide with what I've been reading in the Bible.
No, very simply. Don't try to disfellowship me for sexual acts and I'm a virgin. Sorry, God don't make mistakes. You don't get 2 times to fuck me over. What do you mean you went to God and he told you I was guilty? You just lied on God. So long. That's it. There's no conversation. Deuces. That's what it was.
That's when you made the decision. After that conversation right there, you say, "Nah, I can't live under this roof."
It wasn't a conversation. It was an altercation. In the altercation, I love my father. My father loved me. But we are 2 men at it. It'll never be the same again. You can't sleep comfortably around me. And I can't sleep comfortably around you.
How similar are you to your father?
Sleep. That's girl stuff, dog. You can't do nothing to him in his sleep.
I'm saying,
don't do that.
Because it seems like y'all butted heads.
That's what females do.
Right, but
no
I'm
offense.
saying that generally happens with a father-son dynamic. It was just that religious relationships are always difficult in families. They always are.
Before it got to the point, because the dynamic, he's father, you're son. Before that dynamic and you step up on his level and you challenge him, you felt it was best for you to leave.
No. I'm not being challenged. I'm being beat to death.
Oh, he was abusive.
I didn't say that. I said we were in an altercation.
I see what you did there. I saw what you did there, Katt.
Yeah.
I saw what you did. You was in an altercation. You didn't say you lost. You said you was in an altercation.
I in no way gave you the impression that I won anything. I'm the one leaving. I'm out of bounds. This is his house.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as I'm going to be under his roof, there are certain things that I'm going to have to do.
Right.
And the only way that's going to change is either this or that. And I'm saying I had 2 younger brothers. Like, I'm not an unreasonable person. Like, I don't have any mental issues whatsoever, despite what they lead people to believe. You know, I make pretty good decisions.
Were you not... So how was their relationship with your father? Were you not afraid to leave them?
That's the only thing.
Well, I asked because it went all the way to the actual department, so it was actually going to be something. And when I asked them if they could just make sure that my brothers didn't get separated and what have you, they said they couldn't make those type of guarantees, that they weren't really sure what would happen if this went down. And so part of leaving was the hope that it would be okay for them, because none of them experienced what I experienced. I'm saying I'm the oldest. It's a lot riding on me. I'm supposed to at least religiously hold down the family's name at this household. Right. You know what I mean?
How much older are you than the baby and the knee baby?
Like, a lot older. Like, if I'm...
12, 13.
Yeah, they're 5. And... in Pampers.
Wow. You go to Florida. You tell the story. I've heard you were homeless. And somebody else told the story, said they were homeless, and you said they hijacked your story. Now, I don't...
At 13, I shouldn't have to tell you I'm homeless. I'm in Miami, Florida. I have no family members in Florida. I couldn't buy a house if I wanted to. I couldn't get an apartment if I wanted to. I don't have a credit history. Like, this is not a stretch for me to say that I'm homeless. I'm living in a park in Coconut Grove. The park still exists to this day. For 8 hours a day, I would get up and go to the library and study for 8 hours a day to increase my education. And then I would leave out of there and go to the marina and steal car radios and make $2,000 almost daily. Like, I had a routine.
So you really could have played that old thieving Santa Claus. You could have played it.
No, the Santa Claus wasn't a thief. The Santa Claus, you can't tell me. I read the script. Ricky Smiley told you he didn't read the script. The Santa Claus was a crackhead. He just had that outfit on. That's what I couldn't have played.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't have played a black guy that got raped in the bathroom.
Right. So at any point in time, you're like, man, I made a mistake, man. I should have stayed my butt in Ohio, man, because this ain't what I signed up for.
It wasn't better at home?
I didn't experience anything once I left home that I hadn't signed up for. If anything, it saved my life. Me being homeless for that small period of time allowed me to see all of the people that were in that situation, and to see that these were lawyers and doctors and teachers, and that these people were white and black and Asian and Indian. And the only thing that all of these homeless people had in common was
extreme perspective.
They made a bad decision and aligned themselves with drugs. And I interviewed them all. What drug? And guess what, Shannon? What? Nobody had a great story. Nobody had a great story of what meth had done for them, what crack had done for them, what cocaine had done for them, what heroin had done for them, what speed had done for them. Nobody had them stories. Everybody's story was, I had my life together. And then I decided to do this dumb thing. And I lost my wife, I lost my house, I lost my cars, I lost my reputation, and I'm now out here sucking penis in the woods. What? Talk about scared straight. You ain't got to worry about me. If it ain't weed or nicotine, you won't see me touching it. I don't want no parts. I done seen what these things can do to people.
Facts.
Anything that take over your free will is the devil itself.
Facts.
Have you ever thought about what your life would have been had you stayed in Dayton, Ohio?
No, bro, we can't skip past that. Anything that takes over your free will, well, revise it. Anything that you give control of your free will to, because this doesn't take it over. Like you initiated that, like you allowed it to take over. But anything that does that is from the devil. I agree. Because you should be able to use your own and control your own free will, because it is a gift that you are given to. Go through life with. That was deep though.
No, that's like asking somebody that's in the NBA for 14 years, like, what would have happened if you didn't come to the NBA? Well, I shudder to think. I thought it was what I was made for. I thought it was what I was built for. Anybody that knows me will tell you that when they first met Katt Williams, when I was Katt in the Hat, and they tell these stories about how he changed his name. Look, the truth of the matter is Disney sued me. Yeah, I was Katt in the Hat. They sent me a cease and desist letter, and I'm not even making $25,000 a year. And the mega company Disney has sent me a cease and desist telling me I can't use any variations of that name. Fine, I'm Katt Williams. That's all that happened. I have been this same product the entire time. They will tell you when they first saw me doing stand-up, I was just like this. This is what I bring. This is my style.
When did you know were you always funny? Did you always want to be a comedian? Did you stumble on a comedian?
This nigga Shannon trying. I don't know where to go with this.
I loved what they did, and so I studied them. All of them. I studied all of the white comedians because I wanted to know, why is Monty Python funny? Why is Don not so talented? I wanted to know, what is George Carlin's thing? Like, so I studied all of the comedy masters regardless of the field because I loved to laugh. I didn't know that these people were making a great living at doing this. I thought this is just what they did. They tell jokes. They're funny people. But I loved the craft. And that's why when I got into the craft, I thought it was my obligation to make sure that I kept writing new material so much that it forced these comedians to stop doing the set they've been doing for 10 years and keep writing some new stuff. And I knew that if I could get that to take on, that most of these bums would have to just quit comedy because they can't keep up. They're not gonna keep writing an hour worth of material.
Right.
I've written an hour worth of material 19 times. They're not gonna do it. Why? Because they're not creative writers. They want to get somebody else and have them write it and put it together.
So if I'm listening to you correct me if I'm wrong. I think the best thing that ever happened was the internet. Because now they have to. Because normally, like you said, you could do a set and you do that set in Kansas City, people ain't heard it in San Francisco. People ain't heard it in Miami. They ain't heard it in Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, so forth and so on. Now you do a set, it's on the internet. Somebody heard it. So you can't do a set and make it last 3 months, 4 months.
No, bro.
Well, it doesn't allow the regular comic the ability to grow is the real problem. Like, the part of comedy is me taking these jokes in January. And by March, I've begun to craft this joke.
Okay.
It's not as simple as it was. When I wrote it, it was just da-da-da-da-da. But now it has the complexities of the fact that I'm having to deliver this to an East Coast audience, a down South audience, a Midwest audience, a Utah audience, a Colorado audience. And so it begins to take on a different complexion because you're having to deliver it to different people.
Okay.
And so this is what sharpens your joke. You then take those sharpened jokes and make a special. Not you just randomly take some. So it's a process. You don't allow them to process if the first time the guy did the joke, now that's his joke and the joke is everywhere. That just sets it up for people to steal.
So how many times must you tell a joke before you master it?
Like, probably like 20.
How many times have you had to sleep with a woman before you're done with her?
Like 20.
That's not fair. If it's great, never. if it ceases to have usefulness, so it has been spoken. Right.
I read that you was raised in Florida. You had some help, some ladies of the night.
No.
That's not true.
No, that whole story doesn't take place in Florida. That story takes place in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So after I'm in Florida, I then join, I try to join the Marine Corps and they won't accept me because I'm too young and I've lied and told them I'm 16 and my family's moving down and I don't have my ID, but it's coming. And so they let me go to the boot camp, That's not gonna work now. Okay, so I've learned that lesson. Right. So then I get this job selling stuff door to door. Across the country. And so I've been to all 50 states. Again, I'm 14 years old. So I did that. While I'm doing that, one of the places I'm in Oklahoma. And I've decided I'm going to stay here because of meeting these ladies that you're talking about and that situation. I don't know at the time why that's important in my life or why it's something I should be doing or any of that. But now later on, it certainly helps me in formulating Money Mike for Friday After Next.
Right.
And a pimp named Slickback for the Boondocks.
Oklahoma, so San Francisco, Oklahoma, Sacramento. From Florida, you moved to the West Coast.
You big hood.
So you're traveling. When did you set up shop on the West Coast? How old were you then?
So I guess I'm 18 or younger.
Doggy.
And I
be down there in a minute.
Once I have
be free.
Once I have a child, I realize that I can't. It's a lot of things that I could use to make money that now
He gonna come back with a toy.
Is a no-go. So anything with street aspirations that I might have thought about pursuing or being good at, I now am a single
He didn't come back
parent,
with the toy.
and
he came back
I gotta redo this thing. So I need comedy to really work out for me, and me and God go into extreme conversation where I'm explaining to him that I'm a crash out dummy if he don't send me a lifeline. Like I need something I can hold on to. Before I had left Florida, I did stand up one time because we was trying to get in the club. I didn't have ID. So I said I was a comedian. They ended up having me do 5 minutes. But I kept that in my head that I had done.
All right, doggy getting anxious. We have reached 1 hour. Hey! Let's clap it up. We reached 1 hour. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I could hit the button again, so I don't know what time we is. I'm gonna go check the tape and figure out what time he is, but I'm gonna just split it up into 2 sections. So the next time that I'm watching this, it's an hour and like 20 minutes. I'm just gonna cut it on and just let it play. It's gonna be another after hours, John, but I just feel like I gotta get through this whole interview now at this point. That was a cool little hour. Yeah, we were just vibing, you know what I'm saying? We just vibing. You know what I'm saying, too? All right, so until the next one, you know what I mean? I see you.